Hello, this is Sara Psychic, and this is the Sagittarius 2021 Psychic Insight Predictions and Guidance. Thank you for all of you to tuning in today. And if you'd like a private reading at the end of this, then do go to my website www.saraperrypsychic.com. And if you do enjoy this vlog and you haven't already done so, please like, share, and subscribe. It's very, very much appreciated. So, 2021, for you, like some other signs, this is a second chance. I feel like this is about really working with your intuition, really connecting with it on a high level, and really getting into the flow of your truth this year. There's going to be a lot of temptations around, okay? I feel like you're going to be on quite a direct path, and there will be some interesting aspects along the way that could pull you off in different directions. It will require management, but not the same management that you've used before. This is about working on a higher level. This is taking things to a different level. This is about using, obviously, realistic tactics, but combining them with higher instinct tactics, if that makes any sense. It just feels like you're just taking everything onto a higher level. And for those of you who haven't been practical and are kind of always in the flow, actually you wouldn't be in the flow, just like rising above or just flitting around, actually. That's probably a better way to describe it. And not really settling and not really knowing what you want. This will be a good year to then bring in the more productive tactics that you haven't used before, which will in turn take things onto a high level, because you'll be a big dreamer and probably always looking expansively and beyond, but never quite getting there because you're not putting things in place. Okay, so this is a year to get things done. But your intuition is going to be really called for on many levels. And I can see things coming in, offers where you least expect, maybe more than one at times, and thinking, why is this happening right now? And having to really kind of going back to the drawing board, getting your feet, really getting grounded and thinking, what are my instincts telling me? Whether it's all written on paper and everything is possible, it all feels really secure, and everything just is kind of hunky-dory. Why am I feeling uncertain? And that's the time that you really start listening. There could be a sudden change of plans, something that upsets you. I am seeing kind of heartbreak for some of you, a feeling of like sudden something broken. Now, this could be a relationship that breaks down all of a sudden. It could be a sudden realization that something has broken your heart, or it could be just something that upsets you. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be anything. But I do see it being part of a shift. So it could be something you've been focusing on that you've really wanted, and it just becomes really not possible. When it's like winning the lottery, until you check your numbers, there's always a possibility of winning on that week. But once you've checked the numbers and if you find you haven't won, the hope's gone, really, and there's nothing really left to hold on to until the next time. And what they're saying here, it's a little bit like that. Once you've got once something has been underlined, the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, and something's been signed and it's finished and it's complete, there isn't anywhere for moving forwards at that point. So you're kind of forced to take a new direction. And this could be that you've set your heart on a new job. You've been told for months and months that it was coming in, or you were waiting for promotion or something like that, and you've been literally hanging on until a certain date, and then suddenly it's just taken away. Or the plan has changed. Somebody else comes in at the last minute, and then you're told, well, look, it's just, they came back, the old person came back, and there isn't an opportunity for a promotion. I don't feel like this is somebody stepping on your toes or somebody taking something from you. It's almost like it's just taken off the table. Okay, so if there's been a house you've been wanting to buy and you've been waiting for it to be, the opportunity, you've saved all your money and then suddenly you go to buy it and then suddenly the person isn't selling anymore, It doesn't mean it's forever, like the lottery. Every time you play it, there's an opportunity. But here they're saying that, yes, this could come about, but you're being shown to look to other options and maybe it's just not the time. Look at your circumstances in a grounded way and think, would it be a good thing anyway? Is it still the same dream as last year? Could I do better? Could we, is this being held off because, for instance, if it's a house sale, are we supposed to be somewhere else? Is that the whole point? Or are we meant to spend our money in another way? For some of you, this thing is like being taken off the table. I think if it's a relationship, it could be that you've been putting all your efforts into somebody committing to you. Or you've been fancying someone for a long time and you really thought it was, you were getting friendly, it was taking off, and then you realise, they're married or they've just weren't interested in you at all and they've gone off with someone else. Again, it's that thing, it's been taken off the table, but it could be quite upsetting. I think if it's to do with relationship, it is going to be more the fact that you aren't with the person and you've set your sights quite, your intentions have been to get with this person and you've done everything you can to create the foundations so that, it becomes a sure thing. And you hadn't bothered, you hadn't realised that they were actually interested in someone else and that the fact they were being nice to you was because they were just being friendly, and you thought every time you gave a bit, they're giving a bit more, but it's just because they like you as a person, not necessarily interested in you, but you hadn't actually asked whether they were with someone, and they could easily have been married or, you just didn't know, or they had a long-term boyfriend or girlfriend overseas, or they never really saw them, long distance thing. The worst scenario of this case, if it's a relationship, would be that you find out somebody was cheating on you or, or they've been messing around the whole time. It feels like something that's been going on, but you just don't know about, and that's where I'm seeing it as a bit of a surprise. It's like, or another scenario would be that you've been friends with someone, they've liked you for a long time, but you haven't really committed or thought about them as a relationship, and then they go off with someone else and you realised, oh my God, I really am in love with them, So there's lots of ways of looking at this. Don't make this work for yourself. And, because, I have to be really careful about saying heartbreak or upset, because I don't want you kind of looking for it, because it could come in a completely different way. It just feels like you might have been pinning your hopes on something. So the message is step back a little bit from everything, get more into your flow, use your intuition, don't kind of allow your emotions to just take over and overwhelm you and you get obsessed or fixed on something. So if you already are in that position, you're thinking, no, that's going to be the thing, that's what I want, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't go for something, a goal, but it's about doing it in a limitless way. If there's a house that you want, you want the house, but maybe there's something that's exactly the same but somewhere else. It serves your needs in exactly the same way and would be just as good. It's like when you meet somebody, and you break up with a soulmate, or you can't imagine anything better. Especially if someone's passed and you think, well, we were just so similar, we were so alike, and how am I ever going to find anything on that level? You will find someone. There will be someone, but they will just be different. It will be just as good, but it will be different. And it's because that is how it's meant to be, how things move on, and they'd probably be better in many ways. And then later on down the line, you'd realise that actually this was a good thing. So I do have shifts. I do have flow around your home situations. So if that heartbreak is to do with a home situation, then I feel that the matter, it's actually bringing in the flow for you to make it better. But also the flow, or it could be you might be moving house and it's been on hold for a long time. You've had your house on the market for a long time, that kind of thing. And suddenly it starts moving again, or maybe some work within the house. I think if it's to do with moving house, then, or you've got to shift suddenly, and maybe you're upset about it again, something comes out of the blue and it's like, right, it's the end of the rental and we're not going to let you rent for another year, or we're not going to let you stay here any longer. It's happening for a reason, because I'm seeing that leading to love. So there's some really positive things. It could be just the love of something. Again, it doesn't have to be a person. It could be a better love, something better for your heart. So again, anything that it arises that is a bit upsetting or feels like, oh my God, heartbreak or whatever, it is going to be a good thing. I'm seeing a lot of abundance ahead, and I feel that there is a new beginning here. There's lots of phone calls, like communication, people calling you, and I feel it's without much effort. You're starting to realise how much investment you're putting into certain things as well, which is good. And I do see you taking your power back. Kind of mid-year, you're going to feel really healed, really rejuvenated, and I feel communication's going to get so much better with people around you and work and relationships. But there is this offer coming in, or new beginning coming in. So you could be going into a brand new career. I'd say by August, September time, something is really going to materialise. And I feel it's from efforts that you put in as well. Either other people have seen you working, what you've been doing. So, I would say now, keep going. Don't let go of worrying about whether it's all worth it. If you're still passionate about what you're doing and you're really doing the time, I don't mean you've got to invest all your time in the day and everything, but if you really love what you're doing and you really believe in it, then keep going, because I really see it's going to pay off, and I think something big is going to emerge from it. You're really starting to connect with you again and understand those gut feelings again. It's that sense of really working with intuition. There's also a sense of second chance around younger people. Maybe you've not been able to have kids before, or maybe you lost a child or something happened, or maybe it is a second chance to work with children again. I do feel there's a younger energy coming in, which is going to be very valuable to you. Okay, anything around young people, or younger aspects, children, again, having children, working with children, doing anything connected to children, I think is going to really, really pay off. It's going to bring money to you. So think about the youth of today as well, and what they're looking for, and how you can help them grow, what's going to be useful to them, which could be a good investment as well. So I've got here fate bringing in some negative things to get you to start again. So again, I'm using the word negative very carefully, because the moment you use that in a reading, people are like, oh my God, and they'll just all fixate on the negative. I just want you to, you're being told that because it's about the bigger reason, the bigger picture, that if something is taken from you or something isn't so great during the year, it's because there's a new beginning coming in. It's shifting. Stop doubting. You've got to watch that doubt. I do see more honesty with yourself emotionally. Like I said, you're going to connect with yourself on a more of a soul level. And I'm seeing more playful stuff as well, which is actually your sign. But I think that things have brought you down over the last year or so. And it's like you've lost that carefree side a bit. Maybe you got a bit too serious, or it's like your magic was taken, your mojo somehow, and you've lost that connection of the child within you, and that's really, really important. So make sure that everything you do is playful and fun, and you do, because that's part of your charisma. That's what people are drawn to. Watch someone in your circle playing games. I feel like there could be a master manipulator who can see your worth, who knows what you're good at, and wants to. What I'm seeing is like a game of poker, and somebody setting up a card game. Now, it's not actually going to be a game of poker, but it's like they're setting up something so that you would fall. So they'd be gathering. You'll know it. You'll feel it. It will feel uncomfortable. It's like somebody trying to just be too nice. They're trying to get you involved in everything. They're offering you things. There's a lot of flattery. It's almost like that feeling of a really powerful salesman, or strong, forceful salesman, when they're kind of shoving it all at you, and they go, oh, but you would want this, and they're really talking you into it as well. And then, oh yeah, I'd love you to meet my friends, and I'd love you to get involved in this. You'd be such a great asset, and they're not wanting your money or anything like that. It's just they're kind of drawing you in with flattery. They're telling you how amazing you are. So just watch that. All right, but I say you will feel it. You're going to understand loyalty big time in relationships this year, and I feel like there's something you're going to let go of massively, and it's going to feel much more sturdy, more grounded. And I think you're going to be looking at the well-being of your relationships. You know, what's the best type of relationship? No, you know, you might have already been doing that, but it's like you're kind of getting it right now. You know, it's where you're looking at what you're just seeing, what makes things gel and what things make, you know, how a good relationship ticks. So I hope this works for you, or helps you, works for you. Have a great year, the rest of the year, if you're listening to this before 2021. And if you'd like a private reading, just go to my website, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.